Okay, you made it to level 4. Good job. So what we're going to do in level 4 is solving absolute value inequalities. So we just got done solving equations. Now we want to solve inequalities. So it's a combination of what you just learned in levels 1 through 3 and what you learned when we were just solving regular inequalities without absolute value. So, okay, what we're going to do here is solving just like we would as if it were an equation. And what you're going to do, since you have an inequality instead of an equal sign, what's going to happen when you make two separate equations, one of them will stay exactly the same way. The less than or equal to 5. The second one, again, will change the number on the end, and it will also change the inequality. So your second inequality will be x plus 2 is greater than or equal to -5. Okay? So, and now from here, you're just going to solve just like you normally would. I'm going to subtract 2. I'll work on the first one first. So x is less than or equal to 3. And then the second one, if I subtract 2, x is going to be greater than or equal to -7. And now the last part of that is just graphing it. So it'll be two closed circles, one on 3 and one on -7. And this says x is greater than -7 but less than -3. And if you remember from that first couple objectives, when you're doing these, the answer is where they overlap. So your answer should be between 3 and -7. So right in here. Okay? Okay, so let's take a look at letter B. We're going to solve the same way we would as if it was a level 3 question. We want to isolate or get the absolute value by itself. So I'm going to make this plus 5 a 0 by subtracting 5. And then divide both sides by 4. And now I'm going to separate them, -2x minus 3. Keep the first one the same. Then I'm going to change the number on the end and the inequality sign for the second one. So first one is -2x minus 3 is greater than 1, and then the second one is -2x minus 3 is less than or equal to -1. And I'm going to solve those just like I would before. Add 3. And don't forget, when you divide by a negative, you have to change the inequality sign. So x is going to be less than or equal to -2 for that first one. And then for the second one, let's see what we're going to get. We're going to have to flip that sign again. X is greater than or equal to -1. So if I go ahead and graph those, let's put two closed circles, one on -2 and one on -1. So the first one says x is less than or equal to -2, so that's going to go this way. And x is greater than or equal to -1, and that's going to go in the opposite direction. So this looks like an OR graph. Because they're both going in the opposite directions, you shade both of them as if they were an OR graph. So if you take a look at this gray box, it kind of gives you a hint on what the graphs are going to look like. It says if absolute value is less than with the inequality, so basically as if it were like letter A, like this one, it's going to turn out to be an AND graph, meaning that the shading will be in between. X is less than or equal to 3, but greater than or equal to -7. If it starts out with a greater than inequality, so much like B, you will have an OR graph. So this one or this one, like we came out to be x is less than -2 or greater than -1.